start to the year for you, highlighted, of course, with that terrific run to the final in Sydney. How would you assess your own performances so far this year?
Inconsistent, probably. Obviously, I've had some good matches. Sydney was, a really good week for me, very positive. But then, in between that, wasn't that, obviously I feel like I could have done better at the Australian Open. It was great to be back there, and it was really positive that, like, physically I felt good after a long match in the first round there. But I was disappointed with how that trip ended. But great that I reached my first final in a few years, and the body felt good. So.
And now you are winning matches a lot more regularly, certainly since the surgery and everything. How tempting is it to play as much as you can, and how much are you having to sort of temper that in a way to sort of look after yourself as well?
Yeah, I mean, I have to be a little bit reactive with my scheduling, and obviously, if I have a really good week, I need to then potentially reassess whether I play the following week or not. I'm at that age now, and obviously with the issues I've had in recent years, I do need to be careful. But obviously, whilst I'm feeling good and I'm healthy, then I want to try and compete. That's what the last few years of rehab and training and stuff was for, not to feel good to practice well. Like, I want to feel good on the match court. So I'll try and play whilst I can. Yeah.
You made a racket change this year. Talk us through the thinking behind that, and how are you getting on with that change?
I'd played with the same racket for 20 years and the same strings. You would hope that things have moved on a little bit in 20 years or so with the racket technologies and stuff. The racket I played with was, amazing racket. Obviously, I loved it, and a lot of players on the tour still use a very similar one, but it's also not an easy racket to play with. It's not very forgiving. The sweet spot is very small, and it just felt like maybe something that was a little bit more forgiving, maybe give me a little bit sort of easier power might help. And in terms of all the data and numbers that we've got from the matches that I've played so far, that has been the case. So my average speed on my ground stroke's a little bit higher, same on the serve. So it's given me what I want, but it takes time to get used to that. And I had a couple of weeks with it in the off season, but playing indoors and then going to sort of fairly extreme conditions over in Australia outdoors is quite different, and struggled at times a little bit with that. It's just need to keep continuing to practice with it and get used to the new stick. But it's just been positive so far.
Another switch for you this year, of course, is on the coaching side, with parting company with Jamie at the end of last year. What's the latest on the coaching situation for you?
Yeah, so still looking. I've said, this is an important decision for me to make sure, I don't want to rush into anything and, get the wrong person, because I don't know how long I'm going to be playing for. I'm aware that this is, a really important choice for me. So in the short term, until I get a permanent solution, I'll probably, surround myself with people that I know and I'm quite comfortable with and familiar with, so that, it's maybe a little bit pointless doing 2 or 3 weeks here with someone you don't really know if it's not going to be a long-term thing. So, next few weeks, I'm with Danny Valverde, who I worked with, earlier in my career. We know each other very, very well. And then, keep searching for a more permanent solution moving forward.
Of course, through the year, it's constant changes in conditions and outdoor and indoor court. This is one of those big switches, isn't it, from the hot courts outdoors in Melbourne to here in Rotterdam. How difficult is this sort of transition, and what does the court play like here in Rotterdam?
So for me, I struggle going from outdoors to indoors. The other way around, not so much. I mean, it's easier playing indoors because you don't have to worry about the wind and the sun and that sort of stuff. It's pretty, well, it's constant, the conditions, so it's easier to adapt to. You know, it doesn't change from day to day. So you know, I don't really mind it. You know, the court surfaces, because they're temporary surfaces, and the courts they're like boarded. You know, they can be a bit harsh on the body at times in comparison to the ones we play on outdoors. So yeah, that's something you need to be a little bit careful with. But yeah, I don't mind that switch so much.
Of course, it's been a few years now. What do you recall of the run to the final and title here back in 2009?
Not much. I remember I obviously played Raf in the final, and I think you know, I think it was maybe in the middle of the second set he had an issue with his leg maybe, and you know, was struggling a lot in the third set. Yeah, but apart from that, I don't remember too much. I'm getting old. I don't remember these things. Now, before, when I was younger, I remembered like all of my matches. I could remember specific points from the matches, and now like nothing.